sort of the Freecharge journey as such. Freecharge was largely a payments platform before Axis acquired it, and it continues to be. So we continue to be a payments platform where we are giving people a simple and convenient way to pay their bills, recharges, pay their utility bills, recharge their DTHs, phones. These are basically high repeatability transactions. So you know this is going to happen every month. And from a consumer point of view, it's a great engagement tool for the platform. But over the last 3 years, when you look at it, so we got acquired in October 2017, we are heading in 2020 as of now. There have been 3 events that have happened, and that has actually given us the direction in which Freecharge is moving today forward on. First is the acquisition by Axis Bank. Second, UPI came into being, and a big set of global and local players came into the payment space. And third, which was not planned for, COVID happened. Now, when you look at the second and third event, what it has done is basically changed the landscape and the perspective across industries. So it's not financial services, but across industries. UPI has led us to be able to pay and send money very easily. It's made it very seamless. Whereas COVID has led to both consumers and merchants transforming their digital interactions. So now you see the digital interactions going on both sides of the coin. Both the merchants and the consumers are increasing it. Post Axis acquisition, one thing was clear for us, that we will sort of become a payments-led financial services player, a natural progression, because Axis is one of the largest private sector banks in the country. So it's a natural progression for us, and it's the right fit for us to sort of launch financial services. So we took a two-pronged approach internally. One approach was a short-term view, and the other was a long-term view. The short-term view was more about sort of stabilizing our payments business, optimizing it to that extent, and parallelly testing various financial products. So we launched a set of financial products over the last 1.5 years, 2 years, from mutual funds to gold to small ticket personal loans to a co-brand credit card. On the consumer side and on the merchant side, remote payments, a Khata solution, a voucher solution for merchants where they can create their own CRM and loyalty, a micro insurance product, and so on and so forth. This was more about testing on seeing how consumers react to different products and what is the right fit from a consumer perspective. The long-term strategy was more about co-creating products with Axis Bank, focused on the millennials and the digital millennials and the SMBs. So not all the SMBs, but guys who are digitally enabled to that extent. And that was the direction we took from a Freecharge perspective, saying that while on one side we will test various products and see consumer and merchant feedback to decide how do we scale that and make them big. On the other side is co-create products targeted towards the segment. So when you look at our key focus areas, so while we continue to test products, and you will see us doing more of this, but the long-term strategy is now evolving. And one of the first products around the long-term strategy we launched was a digital FD product, which is based on the OTP-based eKYC. It's a completely digital journey. So you can, within a few minutes, create an FD within Axis Bank, and you can also manage your FD on Freecharge. So it's an end-to-end digital from a consumer perspective. Just to give you some idea, we launched it in September end. Today, around 50,000 customers visit the digital FD platform just to sort of do some research and so on and so forth, and some of them finally convert to creating an FD to that extent. There are a few more products in the pipeline which you will see over the next 6 to 9 months. One of the first products that will come out is a buy now, pay later for consumers, which is basically a product where you can sort of take all your small ticket transactions, do them seamlessly, and then aggregate and pay them once after every 30 days. There is a neo-banking solution for consumers. So what has COVID done? COVID has actually made us realize that, financial health management is very, very critical. Your emergency corpus, your medical insurance, you should have enough. Your financial health has to be your savings and so on and so forth. So we had obviously designed a neo-banking solution with that in mind. So we will soon be rolling out a neo-banking solution also, which is focused on financial health of consumers. So it will be largely focused on how it will help consumers manage their financial health, save for long-term goals, manage their spends, help them sort of create an emergency corpus through digital interactions. This is on the consumer side. On the merchant side, what you will see us bringing out is a digital credit card for the SMBs, the small and medium micro businesses on one side. On the other side, you will see a bank in a box coming in where a merchant can actually get the lending, car and payments all integrated into one as a platform. Again, the thought process is that the consumer/merchant can manage his financials or his products end-to-end on the FreeCharge platform. He doesn't need to interact with any other platform for that. Today, our revenue share is largely driven by payments. It's the most ubiquitous need for both consumer and merchant. Our core revenue, just to give you some examples, we launched remote payments during COVID. And in the last 6 months, and this was largely for the offline merchants because online is all remote to that extent. In the last 6 months, our remote payment volumes are growing 20% month on month, to give you an example. The other side is that we also launched a co-brand with Axis just 4 or 5 months back. That we've processed 70,000 applications in the last 5 months. We have a 65% activation rate and the spend is going up. So that is going to be another revenue, which is the current scenario. Going into the future, lending and the sort of the banking, which is the pay later, buy now, pay later, and the neo banking on the consumer side, and the digital credit card and bank in a box are going to be our larger revenue drivers. Devangana, we are in the early days of the neobank situation, at least on the consumer side. To that extent, we are in quite early days, and I think this ecosystem will evolve. So, if you look at the fintech ecosystem, while digital transformation started a few years back, but most of the innovation happened on payments and around payments, and scale also happened there. What COVID has done is sort of accelerated the digital transformation across the board. So it's accelerated digital transformation on the consumer side, and interactions have started going up and people have become more comfortable with digital. And on the service provider side, which is bank, NBFCs, technology companies, all of us are also evolving rapidly. The way I look at the neobank ecosystem is that it is early stages. It will evolve. I think as we roll out products, we will learn and we will keep sort of modifying our capabilities. But one thing, and I keep repeating this, COVID has proven is that financial health management is important for consumers, and we have been building it around that. So for us, currently, it's the right product fit from a consumer requirement. Our focus was on three pieces at that point of time, and the pandemic came up, and it was sort of unexpected. One was to ensure sustainability, so if you focus on cost. 2, focus on employee well-being, and 3 was sort of re-looking at our strategy, because a lot of things in the last 6 months have changed, the way people, as I said, interact and so on and so forth. So it gave us more time to think through, implement and execute our strategy and products to that extent. That's what the pandemic has done. We spent enough time across the 3. So if you look at cost, while we sort of looked at cost very seriously and we, did a lot of efforts around cost, but it did not impact our employees. So we didn't do any layoffs, we didn't do any salary cuts. We sustained, and we even continue to hire because we sort of believe in the future that we are sort of moving towards it. It's delayed our plans, but I think as I said, on one side, delaying of plans is not good, but the other side, it gives us time to rethink and to sort of focus more and implement it better to that extent. On the business side, what it has done is that it has just accelerated both our partnership with the bank, because the bank is also accelerating its digital capabilities. So it's just accelerating our ability to deliver better products to the consumer. Mutual fund, as I said, that we are seeing a 20% growth year on year. We have taken mutual funds as a test. It's not like a full-fledged product. We will be expanding now over the next few months. And mutual fund is one of our core product in our neo banking, because it's one of the saving and goal management products that we will be offering to the consumers. So, for example, today when we go into neo banking and we launch it, you can, sort of save through various modes. You can save through FD, gold, RD, and mutual funds. So these are going to be products that are there to that extent. So while we've grown 20% year on year, but I foresee that this is going to expand further as we go forward to that extent. When you look at our current customer segregation, there is a consumer segment and there's a merchant segment. We run two businesses. 60% of our consumers today on the payment side come from non-metros. And as the payment ecosystem expands, we see that ratio going up further. So the ratio between metros and non-metros will get skewed towards metros to that extent. On the merchant side, currently 70% of our base is from the metro towns, because that's where we focused on. Now we are expanding. Slowly that ratio will again change. When I look at my future, which is the neo-banking products and so on and so forth, and the lending products that we're looking at, our target segment is the 24 to 35-year-old salaried customer. Ability to people for apply to be a fund house. So that's an indication on saying how the ecosystem is going to evolve over the next decade.